Working with the moon can harness this unique power that most people don't even tap into. Just like the sun, the moon you see on a daily basis going through its phases. We are 60% water as humans, and the moon affects the giant, the biggest body of water, the ocean, on a daily basis. Isn't it safe to say that it can also affect us on a daily basis? The moon only sits in one zodiac sign for about 2.5 days before going to the next one. So it's fast to change and evolve. Life is all about cycles, when to push, when to start, when to pull. If we pay attention to the moon and the moon cycles, it can teach us a lot about the flow of life and harnessing that energy to create and to manifest and to flow. For women, just as your cycle can sync up with other women, your cycle can sync up with the moon, creating a really powerful red moon or white moon. A white moon is a traditional cycle. It means that you will bleed on the new moon or around the new moon. This symbolizes the need to be a mother. Not literally, it can be more figuratively, wanting to be a nurturer, a caretaker, a helper. Women who bleed on a full moon, their cycles are called a red moon, and they're said to be healers or witches or even medicine women. This doesn't mean that they don't also want families, but their focus is really about the collective, healing, helping, nurturing the world, and not just their family. No cycle is better than the other, just different energies, and your cycle can change and shift depending on your needs and your wants and desires. It's really fun to pay attention to whatever zodiac sign the moon is in and see how it affects you and your own personal zodiac sign. Sometimes it's lovely, sometimes it's chaotic, sometimes you're sleepy, sometimes you're exhausted, sometimes you're energized, but there's power in that. The new moon is like starting a new chapter in your book. It is a time to set intentions, manifestation, really put in the groundwork, and it's a much more masculine energy to the moon. It is a perfect time to clean, plan, and really work on goals that you want to see come into fruition for the full moon. So again, new moons, cleaning, new beginnings, manifestations, setting. I created this 20-page PDF all about the complete moon cycle. So new moon, full moon, rituals, and magic. I actually refer to this every new moon and full moon now. I didn't think that I would, but I personally also go to it every single time. Be like, what do I need? What am I manifesting? What are some prompts? What are some affirmations? It's got a bunch of really good information in there that I use as well. You can buy it on my Etsy shop or it's free on my Patreon. Recommended items for new moon rituals and magic: an incense or some kind of sage, Palo Santo, or a bell, something that is a cleansing item. If you don't have access to any of these cleansing items, you can also use Hertz frequency cleansing candle or a tea light. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can just go to the dollar store. And I actually buy a lot of candles from the dollar store. These guys from the dollar store, they also have really good 7-day candles as well. Matches or a lighter, pen and a paper, oracle cards or tarot cards, a lovely cup of tea or some kind of beverage that you enjoy. It's really good on a new moon to clean your space before you set it. Now, this can be your entire house, or if you just have a room, then it would be just focusing on your room. If you have an altar, now is also a good time to remove all those items and give it a nice little wipe down. So you'll set your space, get a pillow if you want to sit on a pillow. If you want to have a table, get a table. I do recommend putting your phone away or at least on mute if you are using your phone for music and stuff like that. Put your phone away. I recommend do not document your new moon or full moon rituals. It just, for some reason, it always just feels egotistical and it takes away from the value of what you're manifesting. It's almost like when you make a wish and you're not supposed to tell people your wish. It's the same kind of vibe. Cleansing your space, again, playing a Hertz frequency or burning some sage or Palo Santo or ringing a bell. around your space, and then also you want to be cleansing and smudging, smoking yourself as well, releasing anything that you're holding on to, any negativity, any stuck energies. Just kind of give yourself a good smoke bath, if you will. Sit and take 3 to 6 really deep breaths, like very slow as you can go. And imagine yourself being surrounded by divine white light, either coming from your heart out, either coming from your crown down, coming from your root up, whichever you prefer to do. Basically, you just want to call in divine white light of protection. So if you work with energies, now is a time to kind of call in what you want to work with. If you are not familiar with working with energies, let me know if you'd like a video on how to work with energies. I recommend doing research and not just jumping in working with energies, because you might call in something you don't want. And this is optional. Next would be followed by a meditation. Again, optional. You don't have to do it, but it just sets the tone. I'll link below some really good 5-minute meditations as well as some meditation music. Or you can also listen to 7.83 hertz, which is the Earth's heartbeat, which is kind of cool. Next, you can pull some oracle cards, tarot cards, see about getting some wisdom on what you are dealing with. Again, this is optional. Now, it's good to journal your thoughts. I do have journal prompts, are also in the PDF. You can look up journal prompts anywhere. You can just Google journal prompts. Fold your intentions on that piece of paper gently, and you can either store it on your altar, somewhere safe or undisturbed, or even you can bury it. But if you want to use it in link with the full moon, I recommend putting it on your altar, and you'll be using it on the full moon. You can say affirmations out loud, either, some generic affirmations that you're currently working on, or even better, affirmations tied to your journal prompts. Real good. Okay, so now you take your candle. If you have a chime candle that you're kind of putting a spell into, or you have a little tea light, or if you have a big candle, it doesn't matter. What you're going to do is hold the candle and kind of whisper intentions into it. Be like, new friends. And kind of, treat it with care. You can carve into this if you want to. There is a really good book on candle magic. Where is it? This is a really incredible book on candle magic if you want to learn how to be doing spells and such. This is really good. If it's a chime candle, you want to make sure that you melt it onto a stand so that it stands up great. And while you're lighting this candle, you want to say, with this flame, I call in new friends, so mo it be. And if it's a tiny candle, you want to make sure that these burn out completely. Obviously, keep an eye on any open flame. Don't want to burn your house down, but let these burn out completely. If it is something like a bigger candle, or maybe you need to pause the candle, it's really good to use salt to kind of extinguish the flame. You can kind of pour it over to kind of either pause if you need to, or just extinguish. Or you can just light a candle for vibes. Look at the vibes. They're immaculate. Now you can close the ceremony by thanking yourself, thanking any gods, goddesses, higher self, etc. that you called in. Obviously, give them thanks too. Give thanks to the moon and the zodiac sign that it's in and the power that it holds. And go about the rest of your day or evening. Let your candle burn out, obviously watching it. And that is your new moon ritual. Some bonus things that I like to do is take a new moon bath with some herbs and spices and even an Epsom salt soak to really just cleanse and also just wash away anything while in that reset kind of energy. And if you don't have a bath, you can use a shower to wash it all away, just set that intention. So yeah, feel free to give this video a like, give a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Did you try this out? Did it work for you? Did it suck? Let me know. Until next time, take care of yourself.